Okay, so brothers and sisters, like I said earlier, the reason for this meeting is to strengthen our marriages, not to suggest separation or divorce. So whatever we're going to discuss in this case, in these scenarios, let's see how we can let's look at the best approach. Even though we talk about what we're doing and what is the best approach to doing it. Sometimes the way we're doing it might not be the best approach, but let's talk about what we're doing and then but what we think is the best approach to resolving that concern. No, the concern is you live with your spouse, but then you're more like silent. Okay, your spouse dominates. He doesn't believe in equality in marriage. He believes that whatever he or she says should be final. Okay, so and then we're talking about where is the place of equality in marriage? How do we achieve equality in marriage? So if you're in that kind of situation, what will you do? Where your spouse feels that whatever he or she says is final, and then you have no say in that marriage. And then we're talking about equality in marriage. How do you handle that kind of situation? Okay, can you all hear me? Someone said he or she, if someone said he's not hearing, he didn't hear what I said. Is it the same thing everywhere? Can you hear me?
I think I can hear.
We can hear you.
Okay. So, President Wang, the scenario is you live with your spouse, but he feels that as a man, he should be the one deciding everything, or as a woman too, if she feels that because she's the one in charge, she should be. In fact, there is no equality in marriage. And then we're talking about equality in marriage. How do you handle a situation where there's no equality in marriage? What is equality in marriage after all? And how do we go about having that kind of marriage relationship? All right, so who want to start off first?
I think for me,
Okay.
the first place to start, there is this popular saying that knowledge is power. For that kind of scenario, it simply means that there's no proper information or knowledge as to how family should live. And that information is very important because virtually everyone comes from different background, culture, environment, and different homes. Even when marriage comes, they pick up some of this character and what they've seen, perhaps culture around them, environment, and brought into the home, into the family. So you see that these things might want to play out. So the most important thing is knowledge. Because if that knowledge is not there, it will be very difficult to handle that kind of situation. Because what will you tell the other person that there should be equality in marriage when he has a different opinion, or he or she has a different opinion, perhaps being heavily influenced by culture, tradition, or um, what is obtainable in the world or society is heavily influenced by that. So you see that it will be very difficult to actually bring in that equality in marriage. I think the most important thing is first and foremost to give the proper information and education to see that the reason why marriage is important. I know some of us, uh, there is not enough information out there, perhaps even in the scripture, when it comes to how Adam and Eve lived their life. If what we are saying is just because we are saying it in a modern day world or because we belong to one religious aggression or the other. I'm trying to look at it in a bilingual aspect, not just directly from the church aspect. So that is going to be a problem, even those outside. If you want to tell them about equality in marriage, what are we going to bring as an information, an advanced information, or a well understood information or knowledge to help them rethink and reevaluate that style of living in a family that will help them, do the other way around and do that which is going to bring equality in marriage. I think for me, that is the best area to start and begin to see how can we bring in this information first. Because if this information is not there, they are not well educated. No matter what you say, nothing is going to change. That is my own aspect, my own reasoning, understanding of that.
Okay, so Bro Frank, I think what you're doing is telling us, telling us what that person should do. I'm asking about you. How will you define, how do you define equality? And then,
Okay,
if you're the
how
kind
do
of
I
married,
define equality?
yes, and then as a married person too, how do you foster equality? Do you think there should be equality in marriage? If you think so, how do you go about ensuring equality in your own marriage so that we can learn from you?
Okay, and I think for
That should
me,
be the direction of our discussion.
okay, all right. I think for me, I will say I'm fortunate because I'm already educated enough to that level of what equality really means and how it is being done. You know, what that simply means, we treat each other as equal. In fact, what that simply means is that I don't see my wife to be less and a subordinate. I see her as a partner that we both work together to achieve a common goal. And I don't impose my ideas or my decisions on her. Sometimes we discuss issues and see how best we are going to go with that. And if well, in the course of that discussion, I discovered that, okay, our own uh, idea is far more superior than mine. I said, okay, I think what you're saying is okay. Let's go with that. That shows, for me, that is an aspect of equality
So there's a
because
there's a council.
I'm not the one.
So you hold counsel with your wife to discuss an
Yes,
issue. You bring your own idea,
yes,
and she has
mm,
also her own influence on the issue.
yes.
Oh, okay.
So I don't just say, because okay, let's do it this way. That is fine. And no, I don't do that. No. So, and also, as that is one way I look at equality too. And also in terms of doing things around the house, I don't expect that this particular thing must be done. And if it is not done by her, then it is not going to, nothing is going to happen. No. I'm always there to give my own personal support, and she also gives her own personal support in everything we do. We have that support and the unity in working together. So that is where I look at the equality, and that is how I've been living it in my house. I think for me.
Thank you. Great. Okay, so who else want to share? Please, everybody should say something so that we don't have a 30 minutes break without of silence. Okay. Except I should call names. Okay, so let me go with I'm seeing Bro Harrison, I'm seeing Sister Okbono, Sister Tabitha, Sister Stachibong. Okay, let's go with this for first. What is your understanding of um, equality in marriage, and how do you go about it? Or do you have a challenge? Do you have an issue with it too? So let's share together. Can they hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Yes, so, go ahead.
Okay, I actually want to share my thoughts, and it's almost in line with what my president just said. I feel, to my own understanding, equality has to do with both partners having a say, or your opinion being heard. In For marriages to be able to last longer in this our society, is not when one person has to say that, okay, my opinion must be final. There need to be a dialogue. There need to be some form of disagreement until an agreement is being made. You need to look at the positive side of things and the negative side too. And that brings in equality. And from there, sir, we can even foster togetherness, that bond. So that's how I view equality. And how do I go about it? I love when I'm being heard. I love when my opinions are also being taken into consideration. So in my own marriage, in my own home, that's what I do. That's what my husband and I we do. But not as if we are not sometimes disagreeing. I would not say that we sometimes disagree, but we will still go back to that issue and try to iron it out both of us um until both of us has a we are on the same level, on the same understanding. So that's what I have to contribute. Thank you.
Thank you. That is great. Thank you for letting us know that we can actually do things together. Yes, who else? Sister Esther, Sister Tabitha. Yes, Esther Chibon, go ahead.
Okay, so for me, I don't know if I would say I actually love the topic though, but um, inequality in marriage is it's inequality and quality in marriage is very, very important because sometimes it's what brings contention, conflict, and all that at home. So for me, inequality in marriage is when, of course, a spouse has more power or control over one another, and or would say, my voice is the final say. Anything I say is what is going to happen. But I would say in my home, I am not, or we are not experiencing that because we try to have, or we do have that discussion, and then, in fact, I don't know if I'm going. I should say that many a times I feel my husband allow me to talk more so that I'll not feel that I'll not have that sense of feeling that he's controlling or he's being the head of the home and all that. So he allows me to, always wanting to ask me of my decisions or my what I think about a certain maybe problem or uh, issue that is happening at that period of time, or what we want to go to the parlor. I'm doing something. So at times I feel sometimes when he asks me like that, I'm like, so Ima, what do you think? You waiting you think? At least tell me what you think. So I will not say what I'm not supposed to say. Let me hear from you first. You get, so at times I feel that he allows me to talk more or allows me to do more, which it's good though, but that feeling is always there. But so we actually don't have such problem because we're always on the same page. When it has to say we want to get this one, we want to plan for the children, we want to go to the market financially, we're always on the same page. So well, my family is good on that part.
Thank you. Okay, this is not here to confess whether I'm doing it or not doing it. It's just for us to share what we understand by what do you call it uh, equality in marriage and our perception about it, right? But I want to ask you, Esther, in doing that, what do you think is what do you think is the advantage in that kind of partnership with your husband? What do you think is the advantage? What do you think is the blessing that comes with equality? That kind of your spouse, the spouse is having equal opportunity to speak in an issue, and one person not trying to dominate. What do you realize so far has been the kind of the reward or the blessing?
I realized that there will always be peace because by the time my voice is heard and like they ask me a question or maybe probably are having a discussion and then I say my own suggestion and then he's like, okay, I'll be happy. So
Mm,
but once there is no inequality, like there's no quality, like we are not equal, we are not agreeing. I agree and you agree. There will be contention. People will always have this, oh my, maybe my spouse does not love me or there's something wrong. Why is he always like this? Or why am I always like this? So once we have that, we are equal in thinking, in decision making, we will have peace. We know that we understand ourselves.
mm,
Because in that period of time that we're having either an argument or trying to make a decision, we always want to understand the reason why we are agreeing on that particular thing.
mm. Wow. So there is peace, there's more love, right? Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. When the other when our spouses are they feel that their own comments are important. Thank you, sister. I love that. Yes, the one.
Yeah. So thank you. I've heard in some occasions when the apostles are talking and they are talking about their quarrel, they try to describe how united they are. Now, they are not all the same in terms of when we have senior apostles, of course. And by the time that you are called, would rank you the status, whether you're a senior apostle or not. But even though they have that seniority, like an hierarchy, you still see a sense of unity amongst them. And this is how they explain it. If they want to take a decision for the church and one person is in disagreement, or two persons, whether the person was called the most recent, they will not approve that decision except all of them have one mind about it. So even though by virtue of the date that they are called, we have senior apostles and junior apostles, yet they still exhibit equality in the sense that they must hear from everyone and must be united in their decision before any policy of the church is made. Now, I remember when I got married newly, that should be in 2014 or 2015. So I wanted to buy a window air conditioner. And I told my wife that I would like us to get a window air conditioner. Then that window air conditioner would use up like 80 to 85% of our income for that month. And it would be difficult for us to feed in the whole of that month if I get that item. So my wife thought about it and she said no, that it would be hard on us. I told her that let's just buy it so that we'll just make the sacrifice for this month. And at the end of the day, or by next month, everything will come back to normal. But let's just endure this month and see how to go through this period and get this air conditioner. She refused. I wasn't happy. Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay. I wasn't happy. And she insisted. I tried to convince her. No way. So I left it. I left it. We didn't buy it again. Then later on, years later, when that purchasing of air condition came to be a topic in the house, the amount had gone so high. The amount went so high. And I was telling her, see, if we had bought this air conditioner at that time now, we would have had air conditioner. Now it's too expensive and we cannot buy it. Okay? We cannot buy it. So, but when I start thinking about that, a thought in me would say, why are you trying to regret over what your wife said that shouldn't be? Like, why are you trying to remind her that it's your cause? Like, it's your fault. When I said that, I have these feelings that I'm trying to make her feel bad. Okay. Then I will stop. Then I would say that, okay, that is a sacrifice that I had to make in order to make my wife's opinion to matter in the home, to have this equality, this unity in the house. Okay. So that is just my experience about how I felt that there was this equality in our home with that subject. Thank you.
Wow, great. Thank you for sharing that with us. Sister Toti, your hand is up. Please go ahead. We should be listening to you
Okay.
because you have many years of experience that we have got here. So at this time now, we'll just relax one side and listen to you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Brother Meme. Just like what you said. It has not been easy. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear
Yes,
you.
yes, we can hear you.
It has not been easy from when you get married and now. Because now we are just like a brother and a sister. Years back when we got married, we dated and we started. These are two people coming from two different places, two different culture, two different everything. And then we started. But I'm so happy for the person that brought me to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day is a wonderful place to be. Because a marriage in the church is different from what you see other places. The brothers learn, especially a brother that love the gospel and love the church and love his calling, want to uphold it. Doesn't want to be disgraced. So our brothers are really trying. Kudos to all the brothers in the church, at least 80% of them.
I'm happy to be a brother.
Or more. Brothers are really doing well. I'm so proud to be a member of the church. So we discuss things we do in the house. There's no like a boss and clerk or secretary. We are just free in the house. Free because we are friends. So whenever I want to do something and the idea will come in, it will be tabled and it will be discussed. Sometimes I say, no, I don't like this thing. He say, you don't like. After he will still understand that I don't want it to be done this way, and that's it. And family that prays together, I know this is one culture we don't lack. When we wake up in the morning, both of us must pray together to ask God for wisdom on how to run that day. And God has been helping us to make decisions together. So I think last year we turned 25 years in marriage. This year will be 26 years.
Wow.
And we are moving.
We need to give you a flower.
Oh, we are 27 this year. This year will be 27 years in marriage. Last year we are 26.
Wow.
And since then, we had been, not that we are going up and down, but we understand each other and settle it amicably. Without the children knowing. Sometimes my daughter will ask me, do you worry? I said, we do, but it's just within us. Our quarrel doesn't come out. It's within us. We quarrel and settle it and then move on. Because we understand. We love the church. We love the gospel. We want to follow what they ask us to do. And for that, family that stays together, talk together, they understand each other. So, kudos to our brothers. I keep on saying it. The worst brother in the church is the best outside. I keep on saying it to my sister. The worst brother is in the church is the best outside because our brothers are really trying. Thank you, brother. I mean, this your topic is very wonderful.
Thank
The
you.
wonderful one. When I saw it, I was trying to make sure I join so that I can learn something from the brothers and sisters and also say something.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to see you and your husband in this meeting. We respect what you're sharing. So I want to ask you a question, please. You know that tradition culturally, it is an abnormal culturally to see the husband and wife sit side by side or walk side by side like in our communities, okay? Or
Yeah.
the man is talking and the woman is saying something at the same time, just adding her own opinion. In our cultures, they will say a woman is not supposed to say something. I'll talk about that in a few moments. Okay, but so you, for example, how did you manage this issue where how do people react to it when they see that your husband doesn't treat you like a second place or like you're equal in your marriage? What do they accuse you of?
Okay. This thing you just brought up, my husband is from Ahafia, and exactly how they behave. They
Okay.
behave, they they want us to know that women are second hand. That is Ohafia people. The second class. That is Ohafia people. But because of the gospel, my husband always tell them, we are together. She's not a second class. She is my counselor. And they look at him as at first they were not finding it funny. So how can she do this and that? But because of what he told them, that I'm his counselor, most of them join the church because of him, because of what they're seeing. So with that culture, it does not happen in our house. What I'm concerned, it does not happen. I am his counselor, just like what he told them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, who has not spoken? Maybe Mr. Leslie, can you share something before you leave? As you say you go and come back. Would you like to share your thoughts, your feelings on this before you leave? Mr. Leslie? Okay, she gone already. Okay, so Sister Tabitha, Odo, is an Okobo favor. Boss lady, Chijioke, Chena, let's hear you say something. Mr. Chiamaka, Glory.
But we are seeing you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
So for me, I was just enjoying the thoughts that were being shared, and I'm grateful for this wonderful opportunity to learn from everyone here present. And just to share a little thoughts, because we've heard from those that have a lot of experiences, so we are still new here. But then for me, I would say that equality does not really mean splitting everything 50-50. It boils down to couples understanding our individual strengths and working with those strengths, supporting each other, and trying to adapt together as husband and wife. And the Lord has made us a family, and we need to learn to support each other and help each other to be able to achieve our goals, our individual goals, and then our family goals together. For me, if I think about equality, and even from where I come from, mostly our people, the men, tend to always dominate. I had my siblings one time say that because of things that were happening around us, the people that we know, that they will not want to marry from our community or from people around us because of how they see them dominating and all that. But then the gospel have actually blessed us to be able to understand that this is not how the Lord wants it. Rather, husband and wife should work together hand in hand to support each other. And that's how I see it. Equality has to do with support, mutual support and understanding between both husband and wife. We need to actively go out on our way to support and strengthen each other. Sometimes We can have our disagreements. That's fine. We will always disagree to agree, right? So it's important that we value each other's opinion. And when we value each other's opinion, we'll tend to support, try to think about why do you think this person is reasoning like this, giving this support in this angle, and try to come to a consensus so that we work together and achieve your goals. That's how I see equality in marriage to be.
Thank you. That is really very thoughtful. So you say it means supporting each other, and I agree with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, uh, Mr. Adaiba, let's hear from you. Mr. Faith, Adaiba, Chijoke, Brauche.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Yes, Mr. Peter, go
Can you
ahead.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, sir. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so for
Evening.
me, this is what I believe and this is what we practice. Because I know that husband and wives are meant to be equal partners in marriage. But oftentimes we see that the adversary seek to destroy marriages and families by confusing us about this superiority and inferiority in marriage. Oftentimes, when a woman is given the opportunity to make contribution on very important issues about the marriage, you hear stuff like, oh, because she's intelligent, or because she knows she went to school, or maybe because she's from a certain tribe. Those people are very intelligent, very smart, but that is what marriage is supposed to be. The Lord has appointed unique responsibilities to husbands and wives in the family that are equal in value and importance. Within a marriage, Heavenly Father intends that a husband and wife should help one another as equal partners. So, for example, if the husband is around, he helps with house chores. If the wife is around, she helps, carries the baby. So you just switch roles because you come to realize that the two of you are the same, and you're one trying to achieve the purpose of making the family go forward and making the family a better place. So, husband and wife are supposed to help each other as equal partners. Just imagine, like this thought just came to me. Imagine um, two blades of a pair of scissors. Just think of what will be one part of that pair of scissors to accomplish a task. It will be very difficult. So that is how it is. When there is no equality in marriage, the marriage becomes so toxic, difficult, and they won't make progress. To be honest, husband and wife are meant to be equal partners for you to actually make progress, for you to actually get the blessings. So when you practice this, when the husband and wife are equal in marriage, you see that decisions you make will not just only benefit both parties, will not only just benefit or bring peace, it will make the family progress, it will benefit the children. So these are the blessings I have experienced in my own marriage. So when I hear of superiority and inferiority, I just feel like it's the devil that is trying to just confuse people. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, the devil is, right from the Garden of Eden, devil has always tried to separate man and woman, Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve, and then the human race. Thank you for sharing that with us. He has not spoken. Brother, sister Uchenna, please say something. Let's hear from you. From any of you. Yes, boss lady wants to speak.
Oh,
We'll see your face.
Bishop, sir.
Let's see your face.
Not see my face. Not see my face, I beg.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Good afternoon, all. This is my first time joining the discussion.
You're welcome.
I'm so delighted. I'm learning so much. Okay. I've heard the various thoughts from my brothers and sisters. They are so insightful. But on my own opinion, in as much as we tend to create balance when it comes to marriage, we would not really undermine the role of a man or the role of a sister or a woman in marriage. when we're talking about this equality, we were just trying to look at value, shared value, inclusion, and others. So what I'm trying to say is in decision making, equality comes in when the opinion of the wife is also considered, not the man having the final say. So you find out that at that point, involving the wife in decision making has a lot to do with she understanding the value and the position and she is in that marriage. Now, on a second thought too, it is just like having respect for each other, because we really need to create balance, align both partners to feel valued, to be heard, their opinion to be what heard. So what I'm trying to say in essence is equality in marriage does not undermine our individual rules as Heavenly Father has stipulated even from the beginning, and as we have it in the family, a proclamation to the world. Specifically, even the children, we all have them, because there are over time, I've come to understand that there are things women can't do. There are things a man cannot do alone without the support of the wife, and there are things women cannot do without the support of the husband. So we need ourselves. So that's why the fact that our opinion can't, but there is this there must be this shift in leadership. You understand? Because there are situations whereby the woman want to take drastic decision that can cause a lot or raise up uproar or something. But when the man steps in, she has to what pipe low, allow him to take charge and take care of the situation at that point in time. But on a family setting, I'm looking at in the society out there. So then within the family setting, is really ideal. For me, the way we do it here, my husband process sometimes he will bring up an idea and say, please, Adani, look at it. Mama, what do you think about this? And all that. So we do that a lot. That inclusion shows that you have value and respect for your partner. So not overriding the fact that he is the father, the husband, and the dad. So somebody must be there to carry the family, to protect the family, be there to father everybody. That priesthood coverage, that's what me I'm looking at on my own aspect. So we should not undermine that. In as much as our opinion counts in marriage, our ideas count in marriage, we should always. It doesn't make you less. But I know that there are some families or some homes where the woman, her opinion can never count, is what the man says. By the time those things keep happening, you find out that the woman feels less. She wouldn't feel involved. She wouldn't feel included in whatever happens at that point. There is this kind of a bridge when it comes to the relationship in the marriage. So the way we do it here, we bring in ideas, we look at it together, and he say, okay, sometimes he will say, no, your ideas are better off. Okay, I think we should do it like this. I think we should do it that way. At the end of the day, you see everybody moving on. Like there was a video I shared some time ago. They said there are 4 stages in marriage. That first stage where everybody nobody is listening to each other. Everybody, this person wants his or her opinion to be more, to be kind of be the one that will have the final say. The man doing that, the woman. Then at a point, there's this stage where they're like, okay, let's see how this works and all that. Then there is also the stage where you no longer look at who is better, whose opinion counts more. Rather, you start looking and working as a team So most people make it to the third stage. They don't even make it to the fourth nor the fifth stage. The first stage where you start working at the same. So most that I shared the video with my husband. I now asked him, which stage are we now? Because I know there are stages that we don't agree. We fall out, we have issues, we quarrel. In fact, I'll tell him that I don't think this is working. I don't think this is happening. Then he'll say, I don't think this is working. I cannot be, that kind of a thing. We tend to lash out, as in kind of express ourselves. But at a point in our marriage, we've come to understand that the only way we can work and succeed is having that stage of working as a team. So when he mentioned that, I laughed within me and said, how did this man know that we are in the fourth stage of teamwork? Because there is a goal we're pursuing, and we can't achieve it without working as a team. So at that point, you see us putting hands together to pursue a purpose, to achieve a goal. As he's pushing, we're pushing this way. Sometimes we come together to push and all that, so that we can get to the final stage, which is the victory stage, where we can sit back and express ourselves, or educate the younger ones on this aspect. Okay, so we're still growing. I think this year will make us 12 years in marriage. It's been wonderful. 12 years in marriage, but almost 20 years we've known ourselves, because I knew him 2008, while I was still trying to gather myself, get admission and all that. We knew ourselves as friends. We started dating 2010 thereabout, and got married 2014. So all together, put together, 2028 will be almost okay, in the next 2 years, sorry, will be 20 years we've known ourselves. But this year will make us 12 years in marriage. So it's been wonderful. It's a learning process. So we keep learning, renailing, unlearning to relearn to become better. So that is my own opinion on that aspect. Thank you, sir. God bless you.
Thank you, Boss Lady. Thank you for sharing this. Who wants to share something? Anyone want to say something before I share my slide? Okay, let me share my slide and we can still have a discussion around it. Okay. Why this topic came up while I was preparing for this, I just came up with something on this PowerPoint slide to share with us. Just let me know if you can see my slide.
Quality of marriage.
Equality of marriage. Okay. So can everyone see it? Okay. All right. So we're looking at, some of us have already mentioned the cultural perspective to this. So in some cultures, like I said, these are my thoughts around this scenario. In some cultures, tradition places a man in a role to dominate, control, and regulate all family affairs. You have heard about my own culture too, but I'm happy that my late father didn't quite behave that way. You know, there are cultures where the man is going out, the man is in front, the woman is always behind. It is difficult in our villages to see husband and wife walking side by side. The man is always ahead and the woman coming behind. Sometimes the man gets to the farm, the woman is still on the way going to the farm. You know, and then the culture also has made it difficult for women to even speak in public or in a gathering of men, even when they have better ideas to share in a particular situation or particular case, but we don't see them. I traveled home, that was 2 months ago, and because I've entered 8th grade, so I sit with my elders to consider some issues. So when I got there, of course, there are women there who are actually the complainants, and they came to complain about what other woman did. Their own is just to present their problem and then listen to the men, ask questions, and then make decision. In that council of decision makers, there's no woman there. And the honest truth is that it is possible for women to have good ideas, a very wonderful input to make, but our culture has made it difficult for women to be in that decision-making body. Okay, and then some of us grew up in that kind of environment and we carried it into marriage. that is became very unfortunate, because when we read in Genesis, when we read that a man will leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they twain shall become one flesh. I think I've heard church leaders say that very statement means that the man and the wife will leave the tradition of their parents and come together in a new marriage to form their own new tradition and culture. Of course, the new tradition and culture will be based on their upbringing, right? So the man might still come and form his own culture, and that culture will be that he is the one who says everything. That is culture played out in our marriage. But we're talking about the culture of Christ, because remember in our last discussion too, marriage involves the man, the wife, and God. So not the culture, not a tradition. It is man, the wife, and God. So what is Heavenly Father saying about equality in marriage? In the family application to the word, we have, I think in paragraph 7, it says, in their sacred responsibilities, fathers and mothers are obligated to help one another as equal partners. So this is where our discussion is leading from: equality of partners in marriage relationship. And then I talk about what does it mean, what does actually partnership and equality mean? From the family proclamation document, I'm able to get these basic points. Bullet. First is that they support each other as equal partners. So one way for me to know that I'm having an equal partnership marriage with my wife is I ask myself, do I really support her? Do I really support her? And does she really support me? Okay, so if I support my wife's idea, if she has an idea and she said, oh, I think I want to do this, I want to do that, do I really listen and brainstorm with her? That is equality. But if I say to her, well, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do, then there's no equality. So supporting each other means that there is equality. But when we don't support, when the other person needs our help, then there's now what we call the family relation, I, thou, and I, it relationship. When I have an I, thou relationship with my wife, it means that I'm seeing my wife as a human being, as my equal, as my partner. I'm seeing the relationship as partnership business, not so proprietorship business. But when I have an I-it relationship, by I-it, let me just type it, you'll see what I mean by I-it. This is what I mean. I, thou relationship, and then I, it. So in I, the relationship, I'm seeing my wife as my partner, as a human being, as a daughter of God, right? So I'm listening to her, I'm trying to support. But when I have an I relationship, it means I'm seeing her as an object, as irrelevant. So in that kind of, by seeing her as irrelevant, we're not equal. There's no partnership, there's no equality in that matter, because I'm seeing her less than she is. I think we thought also that before God, the man is not superior to the wife. A woman can achieve any height spiritually as much as the man can achieve. The only thing is that a woman might not be a prophet. So the Father brought us to this earth, and he gave us in an equal right before him. He gave us different offices and assignments. Okay, just like the man presided over spiritual affairs in the church, like ordinances of the gospel. The woman presides about who comes to this earth. So the woman has a power of procreation to decide who comes to this earth. The man presides over the ordinances of those who come to this earth, the ordinances that they will do to return back to him. So that's a partnership. The woman brings life, she controls by bringing life, and then the man presides that individual who has been brought to life by the woman to return back to Heavenly Father. So that is a partner, that's equality. So nobody is more important to God than the other. If the woman does not preside over bringing life, the man will not have human being on earth to preside over in the ordinances of the gospel, right? So that is equality before God. The fact that the men hold the priest doesn't mean that they are more special to Heavenly Father than the women. We're all equal. The other way too, what I brainstormed on that family application document, another thing I saw is that listening to each other is a sign of equality. You know, in our tradition, in our culture, we feel that women don't have the capacity to think and to reason or to engage in critical thinking. So for me to sit down and listen to my wife tell me what is on her mind, what she feels and what she wants to do or what she thinks about the situation shows that there's that equality, that I'm not seeing her as it. I don't have an I-it relationship with her. It means I'm having that relationship. It means that she's of great worth. It means that I know that she can bring up ideas. But when she wants to say something to me and I just trash it, I say I'm not ready for it now. I'm not ready to listen to you. It means that I'm saying we're not equal, because if you're equal, I won't act like a boss, right, to her. And then another one is mutual consent. Now, this is why when it comes to financial management and buying things in the house, do we really do it mutually? Or am I the one who go into the market to buy them? For example, I receive salary and then we have planned food. And I just go to the market because I have money in my account. I know I buy television. She didn't consent to it. You know, like President One has said, he had to have that meeting with the wife. So mutual consent shows that there is equality. If we discuss an issue and we agree on that issue, then we have a mutual consent. Then my spouse can beat her hand on the chest and say, this marriage, I have an equal say. I have the same influence as my spouse, as my husband has his own influence in the marriage. And the whole lot talked about in council, talk about three kind of council. Talk about executive council, and then talk about extended council. Yeah, Roger, I've seen a hand up, select council. So in the executive council, myself and my wife need to talk about something, plan it. It's okay, on how do we spend this? Our TV is old. Do we need to replace it? That is a marriage that is equal. I need mutual consent to be able to do it. So when there's that mutual consent between myself and my wife, it shows that there is equality in our marriage. And let me take this egalitarian marriage also. My mind turns to egalitarian marriage. Egalitarian marriage is a marriage where um, usually both spouses are working. Okay, the man is working, the woman is working. That kind of marriage, you call it double income family, or dual career family, or dual income family, depending on if their job are career jobs. So if I'm working and my wife is working, remember that in that family progression document, the law says clearly that the woman will nurture, will take care of the home, will nurture, while the man provides, protects, presides. Now, it also goes ahead to say that circumstances can necessitate adaptation. So if because of my salary is not much enough to cater for the needs of my family, that's why that's an egalitarian marriage now coming into picture, where my salary cannot take care of my family, and my wife has to step in to support me by working to provide money for the family. Then I also need to step into her roles of nurturing. That is a partner, that's equality. So my wife cannot be working. I can't be having a dual income family. I'm working, my wife is working, and yet she's still doing her traditional role of still nurturing, still doing the house chores. That is not equality. In that case, that is now an I-it relationship. My wife is now an object. She's been overused. I'm now the dominant one because I'm sticking to providing, right? And meanwhile, she has moved from not only nurturing and rearing, she has also moved to providing. So in that kind of relationship now, she's doing more. There's so much demand on her than it is on me, which means there is no equality in that kind of relationship. So that is where egalitarian comes in. In egalitarian marriage, both spouses either do what they call turn taking or role sharing. So if my wife is working and I'm working, either full time or part time, depending on how it is, then I need to step into saying, okay, honey, because you're working, you go out every day to work to provide money for the family. Then me, I need to take care of some things in the house. Either I'll be cooking, or I'll be the one doing all the dishes, doing the dishes and washing clothes. because I want to have a balanced life in the family. I don't want one person to overwork herself or himself. That is when equality comes. But when one person is overburdened in the house, then there is no equality. I want to share in the later slide the benefit that comes with this kind of relationship. So, partnership or equality marriage is not about 50-50. The house rent is, when people hear about the partnership equality marriage, you hear something like house rent is 1 million, so I bring 500, bring 500. That is not the equality the law is talking about. It's not about, okay, let's do it. Today I pay the house rent. When next day you come, you pay since we are equal. It's not about that. It's not about I wash plate today, you wash plate tomorrow. I cook today, you cook tomorrow. It's not about turn taking in any of these things. It's about planning it out and saying, I'm going to support my spouse. I'm going to listen to my spouse. We want to have mutual consent in anything that we're going to do. And then because my spouse is doing something that has to do with my duty, I also need to come into the home and pick up some things to do so that she alone will not be burdened with a lot of work. It's not about, so that's what I want to share on this slide before I move to what some church leaders have also spoken about this. Yes, Bro Chenna, go ahead and share your thoughts.
Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm so delighted to be part of this this meeting, this what I use initiative forum. Thank you, Brahmemi, for taking time to bring us together. These discussions are quite important. I'm so grateful. We rightly heard from my wife before now, and I'm also grateful to our Heavenly Father for the restoration of the gospel of Jesus Christ, which has given this platform for everyone to be heard in all spheres. Okay, so first of all, let me come to you, Brother Meme, in terms of our culture, because sometimes we draw inference from there. I didn't totally agree with you, Brother Meme, in some aspect of our culture.
Okay.
I'm also grateful that you did a lot of, in fact, you did a lot. I have even spoken some other things I wanted to say in this case. But let me point out one or two. The example you showed about going home and sitting with listen, just like also in the church. Heavenly Father has placed responsibilities on our shoulders. The father, the mother, the man, the woman. And as you see, these responsibilities are great. And these are offices. If we can put it that way, we can call it offices.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, even in my own home, there are aspects that women have to say, men have to say, "Nee, you push your hold on, let's discuss on this." The same thing applies even in our church. There are aspects that once the women issues or there has to do with women has a lot to say. You will see them involve women. I beg, or whatever, please, you push come and do in the midst of elders. It does happen. It does happen. These are pertinent things, you know. So it's not in all situations that they say women. No. It's not true. I don't agree with that. I don't know. Though we've had those kind of issues, like this you're talking about. There are certain things you later pointed out, which I'm very grateful. I think it's also good you repeated. Being partnership does not mean this, so that it to be streamlined and clear, okay? Because sometimes we misunderstand. It may not blame those who are parties inside of it, but the thing is the understanding. So that's what I'm trying to say. There are situations where that demands, okay, this demands this. It's just like in women affairs. So, okay, if it's not like that, why would you have when you want to pay this? You say this one a women thing, You see women precise over their affairs. Men don't come in to say they can't dare there. You know, go there. You know what I'm talking about. So those who are going to marriages, our traditional marriages, they are too thorough. In fact, themselves will delay you till the night come. You know what I mean? I'm trying to,
Yes.
if you can't win it, yes.
Yes, I understand what you're saying about that. So
I'm coming.
Okay, in the
Yeah,
community.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming at about our communities. I'm coming to that because this is a culture. Okay, these are culture from our fathers. So it's not all the decisions that are really okay. And like my wife said, we learn to unlearn. The Church of Jesus Christ help us to learn and unlearn certain things and all that. So now let me come back, because if you look at that from proclamation, you have as a family general, as a man, as a woman, as a father, as a mother, then marriage. I'm grateful for the revelation they are streamlined. You mentioned so many things that are important. Partnership in this case is something that we cannot do without in a marriage. My wife just said a lot of, for instance, that there are certain things I want to do. I must tell her, saying, look at this, or what do you have to say about this? I don't know who will succeed without partnership in marriage. Even outside the church, I've heard people say that, except those who I don't know, because sometimes we speak from the background we're coming from. Some people speak from where they're coming from. Yeah. So sometimes if they have it wrong, you see they may think that's the way it should be rolling, and you see it transferring it from one generation to the other. But I don't know who have ever been okay in terms of marriage and succeeded by undermining the power of the wife roles in the family, or the woman's role in the family, or the mother's role in the family, like rightly expressed. But there's a scenario I want to paint here. Let us also look at that, because I painted that scenario to you, just permit me to extend the time. Okay, you have a teenage. We discussed about teenage issues at that time, last time we met. Okay, mother said, mommy, I want to go and see friend and all that. And the, what do you call it? They told the mother said, okay, can go. So as the same responsibility, the daughter have to go to the father. So the father said, no, don't go. He went back to mom. Mommy, daddy said I should not go. Mommy said, go, don't let it go. And eventually, okay, the daughter goes. And all of a sudden, the story was told that something really happened to the girl along the line. So the question becomes, who's supposed to be the voice final? The voice final, or the final voice in that situation. So that's like, we're talking about rules. I'm so grateful you pointed out it's also there. So we as brothers should know our limits, should know that we can't do with that. But there are certain things that it cannot undermine my importance. For instance, there are certain things my wife have to say, please, mother, wait, my husband come.
Okay,
I
think I understand you.
Okay.
I understand you. So now the question would be, what if you're the one who said, don't go? And eventually, by not going, something happens to the child. And it's been like, if the child had left the house, that wouldn't have happened to the child. So sometimes, no, I'm not asking you to respond. Okay. Sometimes we want to magnify things because it plays out in our favor. So in this kind of situation, there's a slide I'm going to read. Discover that it's about parenting and setting boundaries. If husband and wife agree, that is equality on how to parent, or when the child should leave, when the child should not leave, you discover that when that child comes to you and you say no, if that goes to the mother will likely say no, because you are.
May I say this before you read? May I say before you read? If you look at the roles of the father, provide, protect, security, and some other aspects here. The woman nurtures. The woman make home, trains, great responsibilities. And when it comes to that role, it's something that, like I said, you should have to understand quite well. Like you said about switching roles, responsibilities when need be. Like you said, I'm so grateful for that. For instance, if my wife was tired, she comes back from work and she's tired, and I needed to boil water or do something for her to eat, I will not say because this place can't make your food. No, I can't do that. I should be able to do that. So we should be able to understand that sometimes even our Heavenly Father has a disciplinary love for us, which the father cannot undermine. We should understand this aspect as well. It doesn't mean the mother was taking less. No. It actually talks about rules. And that equality, which my wife has to be aware that, see, my rules in this family, her role in this family. But like I said, in decision making, we are equal, we come. But at the end of the day, they say, okay, what do you want me to do? They finance, okay, go ahead. Let's go this thing. As you said, my own, I will drop my own here. I don't think I was thinking like this, only I'll go ahead with this. You see, that empowers her. That's the partnership. Okay, look, I want us to understand, because like you rightly said, even in that proclamation, we have these rules. It's on some circumstance which I don't see this, okay, sometimes because of societal situation, influence in the marriage that has based on time, we switch these rules and all that sometimes. But does not mean in partnership that this kind of a thing shouldn't happen. People should not listen to themselves because that's what aids the relationship. For relationships to be as even in businesses, for business to be able to, there has to be partnership. The same thing in the business of marriage. Decisions must be, okay, I need to hear from my wife before I take this decision. Okay, something happened. I was called for a job. My colleague who is in the manager called me to look at this. I have to say, okay, let me hear from my wife first. I didn't tell him the finals. I have to hear my wife. My wife said, okay, we'll look at everything before I say, okay, now go ahead. You see, the same thing. So, but there are certain things, decisions that we can't just say, okay, I'll let my wife come first. Oh, this one will be my let her come first. That rule, I didn't undermine it. That's where we're talking about limits and all that. So in parenting, which also has to do with father and the mother, these rules need to be explained and making, because by knowing it, it will help. Because for instance, like I said, there are certain things I cannot do without telling my wife when I know that she needs to know.
Okay, so Uche, I think I understand. So the question I want to ask everyone here is from what Brochin just shared, that's really shared. How do we arrive at equality in this kind of parenting, where the man says, I said to my daughter, "Bet you don't go out, don't leave this house," and then she goes to to my wife, the mother, and said, "Me, I want to go to somewhere." Mommy said goes. Now, there are two persons directing, issuing command. How do we achieve equality in this kind of situation? Because we need to, because no matter what, we want to build equality, right? We want two voices to be heard, my own and her own. How do we do it? How do we arrive at it?
I have an answer, if you allow permit me.
No, not you, Uchenna. Let's get some other person to respond.
Okay.
So let's do Bro Ramabo and Sister Todd. So let's do it that way. Bro Ramabo first.
Okay, bro, Meme,
Hold on.
you know,
In
like,
this way, hold on. Bro Ramabo, Sister Totti, and Sister Uchenna. All right.
okay, bro, Meme, just like while I was listening to Bro Chijoke, I was trying to look at, he has said so many things, so I hope I'm not missing up some things. If I am, please correct me. In the area of that example or illustration given by father and mother giving conflicting instruction to their daughter of whether going or not going,
Yeah.
there and then we'll know that there's already a problem within the couple. So if anything happens because the daughter listened to one and did not listen to the other, it's not the daughter's fault. It's also neither the mother's fault or the father's fault, but it is both of them who are responsible, who fail in their duties to actually do that. In the area where you say one must be the final say or the final voice, doesn't come in here. It is still what we're talking about, not having that equality. There must be a discussion around that issue before issuing that order, either go or not go. There should be a discussion. There should be that unity. That discussion is going to bring that unity. The reason why this person is saying this person shouldn't go, the reason why I say I should go, there should be that discussion and there should be that common agreement. Okay, if the discussion and the agreement happens that it favors one party, maybe the mother owns, okay, I agree. The father also has said, okay, no problem, let her go, but we want her to do this so that for prevention, for whatever the case is. So they failed because they did not sit down to discuss that and agree on a point independently. They did that independently because they are not working in unity. They are not working as equal partners. So the fault is from both of them. They should not blame anyone, either the father. Oh, I said you shouldn't go, you said you should go. No, it is from both of them because they should have come together to discuss that issue. So the point is that at every point in time in the family, there should be a council. When decisions of that matter comes that has to do with the life of the person or anything that is so important, there should be a council. A council doesn't mean that we must, come and sit down and write on. Sometimes we can even spend few minutes just stand face one-on-one and have few brief counsel and discuss and point about, say, okay, let's do that. And there is that unity and agreement before a decision is given. That is what I'm going to say in that area. When we talk about equality, we're talking about assisting, compromising, switching. It is flexible. It is not rigid. When you work like that, I say that it's going to be very, very easy. And secondly, when we actually base our solution, or we'll draw inference, whatever we want to do inference should be from the foundation of the gospel, from the foundation of the example Christ has set. If we always go in that direction, we will hardly have issues and problems. Not that it will not come, but we'll hardly have it that is going to be and is going to escalate. Let me put it that way. So I think that is what I'm going to say in this area. Thank you.
Thank you. And that is really great. Sister, no, it's supposed to be Sister Toti first, and then Sister Chijoke. But she's not here. I think she's out. So go ahead, Sister Uchenna. Boss lady.
Okay, I go ahead.
Okay, start. Yeah, go ahead. I've got to start Toti. She just came back. Go ahead, Sister Uchenna.
Okay, I spoke last. I don't know his name. Is it Brother Orumba?
Yes, Romabo.
Okay, Orumabo. Okay, he spoke
Okay.
so well. He said exactly what I wanted to say, but let me add this as well. Yeah, the decision, it shows truly that there is already a problem. I think we have this very case in our state. I don't want father, mother says otherwise. Relationships, something is really wrong because the child becomes a victim of who will I listen to, because the parents are not working in unity. So it should become so obvious. You understand? So there should be a decision. Possibly, this is the reason why before that child goes, you understand, there's an agreement, just like he said. It mustn't really be only your family home that councils are heard. Councils can be heard standing, white standing, depends on that decision is back in secondary school. Okay, when my daughter getting to wanted to for in a conflicting, idea, the school she will attend and all that. So at a point, I had to go scanning for schools. I brought those schools. I didn't totally take the decision myself. You understand? I had to come back home, tell my husband, this school, this school, this school, and same reasons. Then I now told him, please, let's decide on this, which one. So at the end of the day, because of the reasons I stated, he said, okay, you've convinced me. Oh. It don't win. Oh. I said, not that I'm winning, but on your own, look at the reasons why she should be in the school. Look at the reasons why it shouldn't be like this. On his own, we both agreed on the school she's currently attending now. So even most time, you're like, why are they doing this? Why are they? I say, don't worry. With time, they will do better. They are just like pioneers to the second. Though is a new school, but because that's the school she graduated from secondary school. Basically, that what's saying that at the highest that to affect the child more, because even when we ask back to her former school's secondary school, because she was like, how do I cope the environment and all that? She is going to another school. So we didn't really force it and we came to an end. What I meant in the shortest period of time, so that we wouldn't make mistake or endanger the children because of our own lapses. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uchenna. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, that thought.
Thank you very much, Brother Meme. Just like what the last boss lady said, I can find lack of understanding and lack of communication between the husband and the wife. I find out that some of our sisters are taking this thing for granted, which is wrong. It's affecting some families because they feel they have given them rights. They now misuse it. It's wrong. Our husband is still our husband, not minding the gospel. You see, if a child goes to the father and say, I want to go somewhere, and the father said no, he goes to the mother and the wife say go, it's wrong. I think I have that type of thing that happens in my family. My child went to my husband and said, I want to go somewhere. He said no. The child came to me. I said, have you spoken to your father? He said, what did your father say? He said, Daddy said no. I said, listen to your father.
This is experience. I
Hold
think
on.
it's good to have you here.
I said, what did your father say? He said you should not go. I said, then hold on, don't go. I will need to talk to Daddy first. I want that guy to analyze why he should go there. He told me why he should go there. I went to my husband and said, this boy wants to go to this place. What do you say? He said, he should not go. I said, calm down. There is this power God gave to us to, men are very simple to understand if you understand them. Very simple. I went to him and give him reasons, analyze why he should go there. After talking with him, he thought about it. The next day, he said, okay, you can go. And the thing came out well. I cannot just say go because I'm the no. I must go to him and seek his own. Had he been after analyzing it, he still said no, the child will not go. That is communication and understanding between husband and wife. If not, it's wrong enough to just become the boss lady in your house. You have to calm down and follow it. If you know your husband very well and use your number 6, that power that God gave to us in Garden of Eden, because we the sisters ate the fruit before the men, so our eyes were open before their eyes. So if you use it very well, it's very simple. Life goes on and the children will live in harmony with their parents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, you know what you said to this? I thought you said you went to your husband. You asked the child, have you spoken to your daddy? That child is trying to triangle you. That's called a triangle. So that mommy is on my side. Daddy is not on my side. Mommy is a good person. Daddy is not a good person. So tomorrow, you have helped that child to form a bad opinion about his dad. He'll become more reserved and see that somehow. So you have created the division between the dad and the child. You understand? So, but what you did is what we call bargaining. In marriage, we bargain. Okay. In marriage, we bargain. So if you have a point, if you have a reason why this should be done this way, in that council meeting, that executive council, you discuss it and then try to convince your spouse why this should be done this same way. Bring your reasons. And now, because it's an equal marriage, allow your spouse to also bring his own reason too. Why should not be? Yeah. And then you start eliminating, okay, this reason, this is your fear. For this fear, we can do this to remove that fear. Okay, this is the advantage that will happen. How are you sure of the advantage? Who has told you? Is it hearsay or it is real? By the time you look at the issues one by one, you realize that you might just be the one that's wrong. And your husband too, who is afraid of that place, might not realize that, oh, there's no need to be afraid, right? So it's about bargaining, not about who is the one presiding. Now, this commodity we talk about as men preside. Brothers and sisters, let's look at it critically. Men protect. Look at it critically. How many hours do I spend with my children in the house? I leave us very early in the morning. For me, example, what I do is to help in the home. I help my children with bathing them, right? I prepare them in the morning. I bathe them. When my wife is in the kitchen preparing food, I bathe them and dress them up. And then they go to eat. I prepare myself. I take them to school. My wife goes to pick them from school. Who stays with them from that time? Who protects them from that time they come out from school till when I come back by 7, 8? When I travel, who protects them? So the issue of protection, you see that even our spouses are even doing it for us. They're even the one protecting our children. Okay, so this thing is the role is very broad. And that is what every father wants us to achieve here. And not to look at it as it must be what I say. That it must be what I say comes when there is no discussion, there is no planning. Okay, we'll see. Okay, but I've seen your hand up. Let me rush through this. You're going to say something. You say something. Let me rush through because of we've spent so much time. Let me rush through some of the slides I have that can help us, and then we'll come back to one or two comments before we wrap up. Okay, please. Now, I've shared about this. So let's look at this. Okay, I've seen on the hand up, Sister Uchena, you're going to say something. Let's just rush through this slide, and then we'll have time to discuss and close. Since the hand is up, Sister Uche, can you please read this slide for us if you can see it?
Okay, should I read?
Yes, please.
Okay. Moreover, contrary to scripture and the teachings of the latter-day prophets, some men and women have interpreted presiding to mean that after equal counsel, equal consent is not necessary because the presider or husband has the right to final say.
Okay, this is
But
very
President
important.
Boyke,
So, hold on. This is very important. Sometimes we think that what it means to present means that I have the final say. Now, after we have counseled together and we said we want to buy, let's buy a car instead of buying land. Because the wife is saying because the car will help us carry all of us to church. And the man is saying, no, let's buy land because of the future value. We can manage it and go to church like that. And then after doing the council, the children say, no, let's get a car. The wife says, let's get a car. And the man says, okay, no problem. Now, as I have the final say, my final say is that we are going to buy land. He said it is wrong. He said, contrary to scriptures and the prophet teaching, some men and women have interpreted precisely to mean that after equal counsel, equal consent is not necessary because the presider, which is the husband, has the right to a final say. That is not the Lord's standard. The man does not have the final say. The final say is achieved in the council. What happens in a cultural environment and in the church is different from what happens in the home. In the church, it is about offices and about institution. But in the home, it's about council. It's about my wife and myself and the children coming together, and whatever we agree in that council is what takes place, not what I now want because I'm the head of the home. That's what they're saying here. Go ahead.
okay, and I say, the but President Boyke Parker, president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, explained in the church there is a distinct line of authority. We serve sorry, it's a bit, let me zoom it a bit. Okay, thank you. We serve where called by those who preside over us. In the home, it is a partnership, a husband and wife, equally yoked together, sharing in decisions, always working together.
So the way we preside in the church, it's never the way we do it in the home. In the home, it is partnership, it is quality. In the church, it is office. The bishop can say, okay, based on all of our discourse, this is what we're going to do. But in the home, it's a different thing. Let's go to the next one. Please go on there.
In considering the equal partnership, Elder Elton Perry of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles eloquently say, this is not a president or a vice president. Okay,
No,
there is not a president or a vice president in a family. The couple works together eternally for the good of the family. They are on equal footing. They plan and organize the affairs of the family jointly and unanimously as they move forward. Both husband and wife have a sacred obligation to refrain from thoughts and actions that might undermine the equal partnership.
Okay. The next one. Let's someone accept us read. Let's start now.
Okay. Can you hear me? Should I go on?
Please, Jackson, yes.
Priesthood stewardship does not superpose a heretical relationship over the God-ordained equality between husbands in their roles as parents. President James E. Fort taught every husband father is to his family a patriarch and every mother a matriarch as co-equals in their distinctive parental roles. Equality does not mean sameness. However, Elder M. Resebalag of the Kurumuri 12 Apostles has taught men and women, though spiritually equal, are entrusted with different but equally significant roles. Men are given stewardship over the sacred ordinances of the priesthood. To women, God gives stewardship over bestowing and nurturing mortal life, including providing physical bodies for God's spirit children and providing those children toward a knowledge of gospel truths. These stewardships, equally sacred and important, do not involve any false ideas about domination or subordination.
Okay. So let's have someone read this. Just let's read them and conclude.
The marriage of equal partners is also one in which the partners help one another in their stewardships. Indeed, are obligated to help one another as equal parts. This partnership extends to housework and childcare. President Parker has said, there is no tax, however, menial, connected with the care of babies, the nurturing of children, or with the maintenance of the home that is not the husband's equal obligation.
Okay. Now, what I shared to you before in this slide, okay, it's about social science perspective, okay, under this partnership of marriage. Now, let's see what they said about, what social science says about, the research is about partnership. Who has not read here? Sister Tabitha, are you here? Sister Tabitha, are you here? Sister Esther Chibong, are you here? Yes, Esther Chibong, please, can you help us read this?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Tabitha, please read. Esther, I'm going to read the next slide. So Tabitha, please read this.
Okay. Social science research supports the prophetic instruction that couples who have an equal partnership have happier relationships, more effective parenting practices, and better functioning children. Scholars have consistently found that equal partners are more satisfied and have better overall marital quality than couples where one spouse dominates. Equal partner relationship have less negative interaction and more positive interaction. Moreover, there is evidence that equal partners are more satisfied with the quality of the physical intimacy in their relationship. Parents with high relationship equality are more likely to work together as a team in parenting their children. These benefits of partnership, so marital relationships and parenting practices, create a healthier environment for children, making them less susceptible to depression, anxiety, drug abuse, and delinquency.
Okay, so these are some of the outcome of some research. Okay, you see how science and religion blend together, agree together that equal partnership can bring. Imagine that your wife who goes to work comes back by 7, you came back by 5, and you already entered the kitchen and prepared food. She'll be happy. There'll be that joy and that happiness in that marriage, other than coming back by that 8 o'clock and there's no food, and you're asking her, please go and cook. It's your duty as a wife to cook. And then she comes back with that stress, with that frustration from work, and she goes to the kitchen to start cooking, how do you expect her to respond in that marriage? Okay, so happy marriage is a product of equal partnership or equal relationship. Okay. Just think of what you can pick up from each of this slide. And this is the last one. Let's have Sister Chibon, please read this for us. Thank you.
Equal partnership brings joy.
Yeah.
One of the most precious springs of joy is the sincerely equal partnership between husband and wife. In a very real and meaningful sense, couples who stand as equal before each other find greater joy. Elder Russell M. Nelson of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles testified, "Brethren and sisters, marital possessions and honors of the world do not endure, but your union as wife, husband, and family can. The only duration of family life that satisfies the loftiness longings of the human soul is forever. No sacrifice is too great to have the blessings of an eternal marriage. To qualify, one needs only to deny oneself of ungodliness and honor the ordinances of the temple. Our family is the focus of our greatest work and joy in this life."
Thank you. Brothers and sisters, what is your take? Let's wrap up now. What is your take on this? Sister Uchene hand was up, Bro Uchene hand was up, and then a few others. Let's share our thoughts on these slides. Now, that quote came from a professor. Let me just let you know so that quote came from Valerie M. Hodgson, Professor of Government and Public Services at Texas A&M University, and Richard B. Miller, Professor of Family Life at Brigham Young University. So those are family life experts. Sister Uchenna, Sister
Okay.
Uchenna, and then Brother Jackson, your thoughts quickly.
Okay,
Yes.
why? Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That was so insightful. Elena, go and eat. Sorry, go. I wanted to say there was something you said. You said when you're at work, that who protects the children at home. Meme, you not leave me here. I know she does, but I don't think that. Despite that fact, forget women, no, even cockroach they fear us. There is this masculinity protection that we cannot undermine. She will do her best, but there is this security that comes when the masculine voice is heard. We cannot undermine it. Then there's something that really caught my attention that I so love about the slide, the one that the prophet, one of the apostles were explaining that our distinct roles, we have obligations, our roles, but they are equally important. So in as much as I am to nurture, to rear, is as important as the man who is providing care of nurturing and exercising his priesthood responsibilities, which means that none can do without the other. If the man's role is not more important than that of the woman, neither is the woman's role more important than that of the man. So equally, our roles are very essential to make the marriage work. So all we need to do from the last slide is to put hands together, make sure we take decision equally, as in just like the scenario you mentioned. If the family think car is better off, it must not, I am the man, and it ends there. Everybody is shut down. No, at that point, before within a short period of time, there will be chaos in that. So the children should be considered most times. So thank
you
very much. I'm so grateful for. Thank you.
Thank you. So
Okay.
when I mentioned about women protecting children, I'm not saying the man's role is, of course, is there. I'm not saying that we don't take the help that we get from our spouse for granted because we interchange these roles. Sometimes you see the man playing the role of a woman. Once in a while, if I wash dishes and my wife does not see that, does not recognize it, I say I don't do anything. And I remind her 2 weeks ago I washed dishes. Say, when was that? It will discourage me from wanting to do more. So what I'm trying to do is that we need to recognize that even in our own roles, our spouses still play those roles that belong to us, and we need to
Cool.
appreciate.
Okay, thank you, sir. Very important. Thank you.
Yes. Uche,
As
go
you,
ahead.
as you can see, Brahma, you see, I sustain what my wife says. You see, the spirit is actually working here. So I sustain. In fact, she just spoke what I had wanted to say. Let me share this experience before we go, please.
Yeah, very
I and
good.
my wife have almost the same background. The background is that we lost our fathers earlier in life. The love place is not always easy. And no, that's why I talk about role. These divine rules are important. Rules are important. That shouldn't be undermined, no matter how it is. There are two things in that. You say it. You put this yoke together. The partnership of the role from the woman and that of the role from the man or the husband or the father come together, put them together interchangeably so that you can succeed. That's my own point. Where the one should not be undermined and the other one should be undermined. No. But understanding, when I talk about, like, thank God you just have to point out, even when I'm not around, my wife say, they're around, this thing for happen like this, for happen like this. That is important. If my container say, you say you're there around, this thing for not happen, this thing for not happen. These are things we need to point out. For instance, like I say, I'm repeating the same thing that we should also know. There are certain things decision I cannot take without my wife being around or getting consent from her. I can't tell you because I'm presiding and then what I know that she needed to take care of and don't have. No. That's what we're supposed. That's what I want to get the clarity on. In as much as we have the partner, there are limits and there are boundaries. And that has to be. It's there. As we put together, we should understand that. So that's where I'm trying to point out that these distinct rules are quite important to have in a family. Like you say, look at what all we have heard. Partners together, reasoning together, definitely you raise successful children, will raise successful family. You understand where I know my wife role, like we rightly said, there are certain things my daughter will come and grandma said, they say, what did you do? They say, okay, then you did something wrong. I would definitely support my wife at this. Maybe later I'll go to my wife, what did she do? What did she do? They look at, okay, please, I beg, do it like this, do it like this. But I will not in the front of my children have to tell my wife, why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do this? Because I'm the father. No. First of all, that has to be. Then I'll call my wife. What really happened? The same thing like that sister shared. We should have this. It helps a lot. I want to also testify that even our forefathers, there are certain of their rules, the establishment that also, collide or not collide. I mean, that intermarry, that are together. I don't know how I'm going to put it together. That are put together, which also help marriage successful. The thing is that the Lord has, through His prophet, given us so many things, so many tools to be able to succeed in marriage. Whatever we do, let us understand our personal roles. It helps. If there's anywhere we have to switch, let's switch because it helps to make marriage stand. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uche. Thank you very, 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 very much for bringing that up. Yes, Bro Jackson and the Setabita, then we'll close.
Brothers and sisters, I think one of the areas that I wanted to be, let's say, screenshot that part, is that it has given me an in-depth understanding, or it has elaborated the part of being equal partners. Being close to about 2 years in marriage, and there are some experiences I've had that come to realize that when I don't, sometimes I have this mindset that, oh, some things I can be able to do it for myself, or I can take care of it alone. But I think it's just something to know that it's not that way. When I seek for the input of my wife, or when she gives her opinion, or when we counsel together, I see difference. And I think, and also have some misunderstanding that if we don't counsel together and take some decisions, not be comfortable because she expects that, for us to talk about it. So I think from what I've learned today about presiding, just knowing that being equal partners, no matter our roles, it's not just important; they are unique because the man has his own role to play, and playing his own role together with the woman, completes it. And because nurturing of the children and other responsibilities are as important as the role of the man. So when the head of the family is presiding, I think from what I've learned, the presiding will help. The presiding means that it is upon counseling together, upon being partners, upon discussing about, because when things are being discussed, it gives that confirmation or that feeling that both persons feel valued. It makes the both partners know that they are together doing this. So I think I will seek to apply the principles more, and no matter the situation. So, yeah, so that even as time goes on, it will be an avenue for my partner to know that she's 100% part of the plans or goals that we make. So I think that is a wonderful lesson now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jackson. Yes, Tabitha.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing this slide with us. Actually, from the one I just read, I noticed that the professor highlighted the impacts if we are not equal partners, what's the impact it will have on our children. And so that's quite fascinating, because being equal partners, irrespective of our unique role, does not only benefit us, does not only make us happier couples or fill our home with peace, love, and so much joy. It has so much influence on our posterity. It has so much influence on our children. So I'm so grateful that this lesson, the topic has broadened our minds, and we see a whole lot of addicts in the hospital. We see people taking drugs and all that. And when you trace down, when you crack and you take history, medical history, you find out that there's something that's this home abnormality at home. So whenever we're faced with opportunities when we're home, we should not always just think about ourselves or trying to be heard or trying to be superior or inferior. Like, we should always strive to be equal in our partnership, because whatever we do has impacts on our posterity. Thank you so much, sir, for this teaching today.
Oh, thank you for making it worth the while. All of you, your contribution is really very, very inspiring. The only person I've not heard from here is Sister Dokubo Favor. Sister Dokubo, you chose to just listen and enjoy the discussion. We didn't want us to learn from you. I hope that next time you take the lead in the discussion. Brothers and sisters, thank you very much. While I listened to Brother Uchenna's, I remember a topic I explored last time as part of my assignment in BYU, that is fatherlessness, the impact of father absence in the life of a child. The impact of father absence in the life is unspeakable. It's something serious. It has led to so many vices in the life of the children. So maybe that's good on that topic from that day. How do you manage a child without the father? A set of issues around that. Thank you very much for being here today. I'm excited for what we're learning. I thank you for spending time getting the data and being online. I testify that this is the Lord's work. Marriage is ordained of God. It's ordained of God. Marriage is a union that can make us, if we strive, can make us exalted, not just have salvation, but exalted to become gods. So it's not easy. These things are true. The Savior wants us to be resilient. The world is full of so many ideologies about marriage. People don't see the need to strive to make the marriage work. Every little thing people want to find. People are looking for reason to separate, to divorce. As simple as he doesn't want me to speak in the marriage, it's enough for them to leave the marriage. But the Lord wants us to be resilient, to be faithful. By so do we become the Savior's disciple. And I test for this truth in Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Sister Bita would like to offer us a closing prayer. Thank you. And then see you again.
Our gracious Father in heaven, we thank thee for your love. Thank thee